This week, we're gonna be taking a look at one of Hamilton's best neighborhoods, Waterdown, Ontario. Located on the northwest side of Hamilton, right beside Burlington, you'll find this charming downtown area with many different local businesses to explore, all close by, established neighborhoods built in the 80s and 90s, and new suburbs built in the last decade, all of which are just a short walk away and drive to many great shopping options. So let's go take a look at what it's like living in Waterdown. If you want to learn all about the different neighborhoods in Hamilton, from the pros and cons to the parks to the shopping and more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. My name is Matthew, a part of the Living in Hamilton team, and for the past 3 years, we've been helping people just like you relocate to Hamilton and the surrounding cities. So whether you're making the move here in 60 days or in 6 months, send me and my team a message today. And if you're thinking about making the move to Waterdown, make sure you keep on watching to the end, as I'm going to be sharing the top reasons why my clients choose also not to move here. But first, let's go check out the downtown. So here you're going to notice two major things. First are going to be a lot of different historic heritage buildings that all have their own unique charm, with many different local businesses calling them home. But then the second thing you're going to be noticing in the downtown area is a lot of traffic, as because these heritage buildings were built when the small town was much smaller, you're only going to have one lane going each way, definitely causing a bottleneck here. However, the city definitely has some plans to improve it in the coming years. But what you're also going to be noticing here is amazing local business. Some of my personal favorite is you have the Mill and 5 American House to go check out some live bands. You have Pickwick Books to go pick up a great read, as well as the Coachman to go to the British pub and grab a beer with your friends, and so much more. But the other area you're gonna find a lot of shopping options is in the west side. So here we are at what I would refer to as the two biggest plazas throughout Waterdown. So we got the Canadian Tire, but as well as the Sports Check and Mark's Work Warehouse here. And then just across the street, you'll find a Walmart, Staples, Rona, with a variety of other smaller restaurants and local shops you can go and explore. So now that you know the different shopping options within Waterdown, let's go take a look at the schools. So here we are in front of Waterdown's only high school, Waterdown Public High School. Now, there are no Catholic schools here, so your kids, if you're looking to be in Catholic school, will have to be bused. Now, with that said, if they're going to be in elementary school, you're going to find 5 great options to choose from throughout Waterdown, with 3 being public and 2 Catholic schools as well. And all of these are great options and usually just a short walk away from many different homes. And right beside all these schools here, you'll find some amazing parks, like this one here at Waterdown Memorial Park, which in my opinion is the best park within Waterdown's borders, as not only do you just have ample green space, a bunch of sports fields, but as well as a jungle gym, a splash pad, and skate park in the summertime. But then in the wintertime, where we're standing actually turns into an ice skating loop outside for you to enjoy. Now, some other parks you'll enjoy when living in Waterdown are the Joe Sam Leisure's Park, which offers a bunch more sports fields to enjoy, as well as a huge dog park to get your dog's zoomies out. But then on the south side, you'll find the Clapson Woods, a large forested area with many different walking trails to explore. And then just a short drive away from Waterdown, you'll find Rock Chapel Golf Center, a perfect small pitch and putt course where it's perfect to learn how to play. It's where I personally grew up learning how to play, as they have a driving range and a great 9-hole course, but you'll also find a variety of 18-hole golf courses close by. So now that you know the different parks, let's go take a look at the most iconic waterfall you'll find within Waterdown, the Smoky Hollow Waterfall. So here, not only can you just park right beside the waterfall, so it's the shortest hike to go check it out, but then you have a great lookout point to enjoy the falls, and then start your hike along the Bruce Trail, where you can hike to your heart's content, as there's over 885 kilometers for you to explore. So now that you know the different parks, the different schools, the different shopping, let's jump on the map to give you the lay of the land of Waterdown. Alrighty guys, so here is Waterdown on the map, of course right beside Burlington, and where we just were located is on the south end at the Smoky Hollow Waterfall. Now, if we were to break Waterdown down into the 3 main neighborhoods or areas that make up Waterdown, it can be really divided into the east end, the central part, and the west end. So the east end is right here, and where you're going to find the new real estate in the east end is just going to be on the south side, just south of Dundas. You're going to have a brand new 3-story, or 3-tower I should say, condo building. It's multiple stories, probably like 20 stories high. The more established neighborhood is going to be just north of Dundas on the east side. Then in the central corridor or the downtown area of Waterdown is where you're going to be finding those heritage buildings, especially as you get closer to that downtown area of Waterdown right here. But then as you head more north or south, what you're going to be noticing is some of those original detached homes that were original to Waterdown when it was first established, but also a bunch of custom infill projects. So it truly does give you a variety of real estate options to choose from in the central part. And then as for the west part, this is actually kind of flipped compared to the east end, as the new real estate is on the north side, right north of Parkside Road, right beside the Waterdown High School, where the more established area is in that central corridor right here. Now, if we were to look at the shopping and where you can expect to find that throughout Waterdown, if we add these layers in here, what you're going to be noticing is one, you can see that the largest shopping plaza we were at earlier right here that has the Canadian Tire, the Sports Check, the Walmart, etc. But the two other areas you're going to be noticing the shopping, of course, is just the downtown area of Waterdown is right here. But then along Hamilton Street, what you're going to be noticing is two smaller plazas. One is going to be located right along Dundas that has a few different restaurants like Turtle Jack's, but as well as a great flower shop, a Shoppers Drug Mart to get. But then a little bit more north, you're going to find a Fortino's and a few more restaurants and shops to choose from right across the street from Water Memorial Park. So if we actually flip on the parks now, and I'll show you where those are located, you can see that one, you have Water Memorial Park in the central, but then on the north side, that's where you're going to find the Joe Sam Leisure Park that has a lot of different sports fields as well as that dog park. And it's actually right across the street from the Guardian Angels Catholic Elementary School. And then on the south end, that's where you're going to find the Clapson Woods Park. And then while not technically a part of Waterdown and Hamilton, it's actually in Burlington, but if you're living in Waterdown, you're going to be right beside it. A park I'd recommend you go take a look at is the City View Park and Kearns Cliff Park right over here. One, City View Park just has a bunch of different sports fields, but then the Kearns Cliff Park at one time was a quarry. It's now been naturalized, so it has a lot of great nature trails, both in the marshes, but also on top of the cliff. And because of the location, you're just going to get beautiful views of really like the Hamilton Harbor and everything of all downtown Burlington as well, of course. And then a few more notable areas you want to pay attention to when you're living in Waterdown is one, you're going to find the Flamborough Family YMCA right here, right beside actually the Waterdown High School, that has a great indoor pool, has a bunch of gyms and a bunch of activities going on routinely. But then you also have over here is the Waterdown Public Library to grab a good read. And then as you can see, for the schools, you have one on the east end, one in the central end, and then two in the west, with one just a little bit more north to give you a map of where they are. Now, if you're looking to drive around and are thinking about either commuting to the other areas of Hamilton or Toronto, what you want to be aware of is one, you have the Highway 6 right here. This is going to be the main collector road that will take you, of course, to the 403 to the other areas of Hamilton. And the road I'd recommend you take, especially if you're living on the west end. So if you're living on the west end and going to be commuting to Hamilton on a regular basis, this is definitely beneficial. Now, if you're living on the east end and you're thinking about commuting maybe to Toronto on a regular basis or out to Hamilton, what you want to take as well is the Waterdown Road, which will also take you to the 403 that you can go this way or out to Toronto. But as well, here you'll find the Aldershot GO train station, which has a train going to Union Station every single hour. Now, I will say the bottleneck for downtown Waterdown is right here. So if you're living on the east end, it will take you sometimes a little bit of time either to get from the Highway 6 through Waterdown or vice versa. And Waterdown Road is currently going always under, it feels like always under construction. So they could expand it at some time, but right now Highway 6 is definitely the faster route to go to get to the 403. Now, as you can see on this map here, really includes everything you would want to know about living in Waterdown, from the shops to my favorite local restaurants that you can find, as well as everything else. So if you're interested in getting your own copy of this Waterdown map, as well as all of my exclusive videos going over Waterdown, what you can find is your Hamilton Homebuyer Starter Kit down below. It includes all the maps, not just of Waterdown, but of Stony Creek, of Ancaster, of Dundas, and so much more. So you can find the link down in the description. Other than that, let's go take a look now at that brand new townhome. Alrighty guys, so here we are at this 3-bed, 3-bath townhome, just listed at $1.1 million. And when you walk in, you're gonna be greeted with your brand new open concept living room and dining room, a spacious master bedroom, as well as an unfinished basement ready for you to put your own personal touch on. So come on inside and let's take a look. So So townhomes made up about 30% of Waterdown's real estate sales, typically selling between $700 and $1.1 million, usually ranging between 2 to 3 beds and 2 to 3 bathrooms, like this townhome here. And then as for detached homes, this made up 58% of the real estate sold in Waterdown, typically selling between $900,000 and $1.5 million. Like this one behind me, you're gonna find a lot of new detached home options to choose from, but as well as a lot of other great ones in established neighborhoods that were built in the 80s and 90s. And then as for condos, this made up 12% of Waterdown's real estate sales, typically selling between $400,000 and $700,000, usually offering 1 to 2 beds and 1 to 2 bathrooms. So if you're interested in getting a detailed custom market analysis based on your search criteria, send me and my team a message today. Otherwise, let's jump in and talk about the transit scores. And Waterdown's walk score was a 42 compared to Hamilton's average of 50. And as you can see, there's gonna be lots of quiet streets for you to go for that morning stroll or afternoon walk. However, if you are gonna be wanting to walk to get all your basic amenities done, you wanna be living close to either Dundas or Hamilton Street. And then as for the public transit score, this was rated a 23 compared to Hamilton's average of 45. As in Waterdown, what you're gonna be finding is one bus route that takes you around the loop and then offers a connection to Aldershot Go, but that's it. It's not going to be very well connected to the rest of Hamilton's public transit system. And then as for Waterdown's bike score, that was rated a 40 out of 50. And as you can see, like the walk score, you're gonna have lots of quiet streets to enjoy. So now that you know the different transit scores of Waterdown, let's go take a look at my favorite place to get some work done, grab an apple fritter, and enjoy a coffee. So let's go take a look. So here we are at my favorite local gem. You got the Copper Kettle Cafe right behind me. We're gonna go pick up probably a delicious sandwich. I'm thinking the Club Kettle, as well as some amazing fritters. So let's go in and take a look. Alright, so since you guys stuck around to the end of the video, I'll share the top reasons why my clients choose not to move here. So the first reason is the price, as when you're comparing Waterdown's average sold price versus the Hamilton average, it is going to be on the higher side. Now, with that said, it's quite relative, as if you're comparing it to Burlington's real estate price, which geographically Waterdown is quite close to, it's actually going to be quite favorable. The second reason is there's no Catholic high school. So I know some of my kids have Catholic kids going to high school and they want to be close by that there. And then the third reason is the public transit, as I know a lot of my clients are moving internationally, don't have necessarily 2 cars, and are going to rely on public transit. And since Waterdown is a bit further away from the rest of Hamilton, it's a little harder to get around using the public transit. So now that you know the top reasons why my clients choose not to move here, if you're a family looking to relocate here and establish roots, it's an absolutely excellent community. And if you're wondering what the next neighborhoods are for you to check out within Waterdown, that's the video I'd recommend you take a look at. So you can find that video right here. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.